just with a general comment about today's game?
I thought it was overall a pretty good game. I thought the last 5 minutes of the game was the difference. I thought they played really, really well in the last 5 minutes. You can see they've scored 10 straight points, and in those last 5 minutes, we played well up until that spot. So, you know, it's just one of those games where you can't blink, and we did. But you know, I give them a lot of credit. The Charles kid played really well. Lynn was really good, and they had 4 kids in double figures. A kid coming off the bench that gets 18. That's what you've got to do in a tournament. And we kind of got stuck with these two and didn't have a lot of extra. So it's hard to win when you've only got really 2 or 3 kids doing a lot of scoring.
There was one point you stalled just a little bit and you weren't getting a lot of offense, and then Shae just seemed to pick you up doing a lot of different things, scoring especially, but defensively and so on. Talk about that little stretch that she did.
Well, there was a couple of times where we bogged down, and both of these kids would step up and make plays for us. You know, Shae's a competitor, and she's gonna do what she has to do to compete. You know, but you need more. You need it from more kids. And if you look at those box scores, you know, they got a kid with 10 assists. They got 4 kids in double figures. They got a kid with 10 rebounds, a different kid. And we're kind of limited to 2 doing a lot of work. So, you know, Shae's effort was great. Did things she needed to do. We didn't have enough.
I know you got in foul trouble. You never really could. I mean, 13 minutes, and how much did that change your look?
Well, a lot from the last game, because she had 21 and 11 the last time we played them 5 days ago. You know, she wasn't able to stay on the floor, and that's rare in tournaments that you see a lot of 4 fouls and 5 fouls, but she couldn't stay on the floor, and that's something that she'll have to grow up and learn from. But you know, with the numbers of kids that we've had out this year, that shouldn't bother us, because we're just putting somebody in that's had to play 35 minutes some other game. So that shouldn't have bothered us at all. And I don't really think it did, probably but until the last 4 or 5 minutes. And you probably could look at this game as our season. Probably the last 5 minutes, and these guys are going to know that I'm not going to say this to them outside of here. But we've been asking kids to play probably on empty all year long. And again, I'm not taking anything away from Maritn. I'm telling you about UT Maritn. And so probably what you saw in this game in those last 5 minutes was that tank running empty, and us being taken advantage of. And, you know, you can't ask Paige Pipkin and Sagan Robbins to play, you know, the way we've asked them to play. This kid's missed a bunch of games. This kid's missed a bunch of games. So we probably ran out of some gas. But since we'd run out of gas so many times, we had a lot of kids put in there that had played, which should have been able to help us, but it didn't in this ballgame.
The final shot, you played for the final shot. That was how it was drawn up. Can you just kind of take me through that?
Yeah, I don't like playing and getting a shot and then letting somebody else have it. So I liked playing it down, and, you know, we're going to win it or lose it. And I had 2 options. One was a 3 and one was a 2. And the only problem was it was a play that we hadn't run a lot since probably before Christmas, probably. And if you second guess yourself, you can kill yourself, you know, because, yeah, should we have run that one? No, we should have run the other one because we turned the ball over. But when we ran it and it was set up, it was there and it was going to work, it's probably that we hadn't run it enough. So not their fault.
For the 2 of you, just first of all, just your takeaways from this game. I know it's tough. I know it's, you know, it's still fresh in your mind, but this game is a lot like the season a little bit. Just what do you take out of this from a learning experience?
Well, first, I'm just thankful that I got to take the court with Paige and Sagan again. I'm thankful to play the last 2 years with them, and now we have a lot of girls coming back, so I think this one stings, and it's motivation for next year.
A little bit what she said, glad to be able to play with Sagan and Paige for at least 1 year and to actually feel like a family and all of that. And it's just a learning from here on out. We got to learn from our mistakes and move forward with them.
How much was this year for you, just, and for both of you, really? I mean, you know, you're still got some time left, but for you, just how much was this year good for you to kind of go through it, especially for you, Shae?
It brought adversity that I needed as a freshman so I can know how far I can go from here on out. So I'm glad that I went through everything that I went through as a freshman, so I'll be ready to go for the years on.
What for you?
A lot of growth. I got stuck with a lot of illness this year, so learning how to come back from that benefited me, and it will for future.
And Kevin, just for you, with this core around you, and what you have, I know it's hard to say goodbye to some really good seniors, but just, you know, looking at what's ahead, what the future wants.
Well, what's ahead really depends on these guys. You know, how good do they want to be? I think what they've seen through the year is, or I hope what they've seen, is that there's a special group that's sitting here. The question is do they want to do the things that they need to do to be special, or are they going to do what everyone else does? If they do what everyone else does, they'll have good careers. But they've got to want to sacrifice, be disciplined, be uncomfortable, get out of their comfort zone with their teammates, and try to get better, because there's as good a nucleus here as that we've ever had coming back. You know, but I don't have, you know, I get way too much credit for stuff that I shouldn't get credit for, and that's usually the wins and the losses. I don't get enough credit for what these kids do in the off season, because but what's so funny is I don't do anything in the off season. All I do in the off season is put it on them. So it's their team. How good they want to be is going to be up to them, and I'm going to push them and see if we can keep getting better. Really good group coming back. Sad to see Sagan and Paige go. Great kids, wonderful careers. They both played hurt so much it's ridiculous, and you have to respect what they've done for that. But yeah, going forward, you know, we'll see. This is a story that these guys get to see the end of a story written. Paige and Sagan, and then they get to continue to write theirs, but they're going to blink, and their careers are going to be over, and you just don't realize that when you're their age.